Hey guys, Richard again. Today in this video is part 3 on the BMW M3. Kind of rhymes. Today I'm still continuing on the E36. Now I'll get this done and then I'll get started with the E46. So this is gonna take a long while, but I'll try to get this one done, and then for my next video I'll do the F80 M3, and then for my final M3 video I'll do the G80 M3, and possibly I'll try do maybe the M5. I think, I don't know, but I'll find out what I can do. So so moving on to where we left off to. So I'm on the M3 Evolution or M3 M3 Evo Imola individual. So before I start, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe. So like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell and hit all so you are alerted of when I make brand new uploads. And yeah, so without any further ado, let's get cracking. Let's get started, man. Cracking sounds a bit vague, but oh well. So M3 Evolution Imola individual. Here we go. So it's the 1998 BMW M3 Evolution Imola individual version. So here we go. The M3 Evo Imola or Evolution Imola individual is a limited edition variant of the M3, 50 for the UK. The engine, so both the engine and performance characteristics of the car were unchanged, so they were completely standard from the 1996 European M3, and a special exterior and interior color combination was chosen by BMW UK. Imola Red. So Imola Red. Only 405 of these will be painted in that color, with Napa leather seats in the Imola Red and Amaretta suede bolsters and anthracite. I can't really pronounce this word, so I'm just gonna spell it.
Anthracite.
Anthracite. I knew it was that. I can't even say it right. So yeah. So both the engine and performance characteristics of the car were unchanged completely. So they're still standard from the 1996 European M3, and a special exterior and interior color combination was chosen by BMW UK. Imola Red, 405 of those will be made with that color. Paint with Napa leather seats in Imola Red, and Amaretta suede bolsters and anthracite. Hold on.
Anthracite.
Say anthracite. Say anthracite. It also included side airbags, the M3 GT Class 2 rear wing or spoiler, front Class 2 corner splitter extensions, electric seats, and double spoke polished alloy wheels. Prior to the release of the Imola individual, there was a pre-production model made, which was used as the basis of the special edition. It featured the Class 2 front splitter and rear wing, special order Imola red paint, special order Napa leather and anthracite Amaretta suede exterior, SMG gearbox, GSM phone kit, headlamp washers, and double spoke polished alloy wheels. Some BMWs will use like a phone system. It's not just like older I think 90s V12 BMWs, I think. There was one in Top Gear, I forgot which one it was. 760, I think? I don't know. It was the one with the V12 engine into it against Jeremy Clarkson and his Mercedes. Same. So it featured a Class 2 front splitter and rear wing, special order Imola red paint, special order Napa leather and anthracite Amaretta suede interior, SMG gearbox, GSM phone kit, headlamp washers, and double spoke polished alloy wheels. And next up is the best one of all time, the M3 lightweights. And this is for the US only. um, Following the introduction of the E36 M3, racing teams in the US began pressuring BMW for a homologation version in order to compete in sports car racing. As a result, the M3 lightweight was introduced in 1995. The cars came without a stereo, although the speakers were installed in the car pre-wired for the radio. Air conditioning, leather seats, toolkit, or sunroof. The doors have aluminum skins. There's no hood insulation blanket. And the trunk only has carpet on the floor. The underbody insulation is thinner and there is special carpeting to lower the weight. Overall, the changes resulted in a weight of 200 pounds, 91 kilos, well, rather around 91 kilos, 200 pounds less than a regular M3. So almost 100 kilos lighter. That's pretty much a good advantage. So overall, the changes resulted in a weight 91 kilos, 200 pounds less, well, lighter than a regular M3. The wheels are 17 inches in diameter with a width of 7.5 inches at the front and 8.5 inches at the rear. So 7.5 inches at the front and 8.5 inches at the rear. So the tires in the back are 1 inch bigger than the ones in the front. The tires fitted were 235/40 ZR17s or ZR17s. And it just keeps getting better. Powertrain changes included the removal of the top speed limiter. Finally, no more limited 155 top speeds. No more. Thank God for that. Powertrain changes included the removal of the top speed limiter and a shorter differential. And a shorter differential ratio, 3.23 compared to 3.23 compared to 3.15. Suspension upgrades consisted. Suspension upgrades consisted. Suspension upgrades consisted of shorter springs from the European specification M3. Before being sold, the M3 lightweights were sent to Prototype Technology Group Racing, or PTGR. PTGR, Prototype Technology Group Racing in Virginia for final preparation, which included the front and rear motorsport flag decals and trunk lid, boot lid. In the trunk or boot, there was a dual pickup oil pump from the European specification M3, front strut bar, lower cross brace, spacer blocks to raise the rear wing, and an adjustable front splitter. Each owner was given a one-page legal document to sign. Each owner was given a one-page legal document to sign acknowledging that any installation of boot or trunk items voided the new car warranty. All M3 lightweight cars were produced in the Alpine white exterior color with the motorsports flag decals on the left front and right rear corners of the car. There is a fixed wing on the trunk lid, some carbon fiber interior trim, and the badges on the side, molding and dash read BMW Motorsport International. BMW Motorsport International. Although BMW promised to build approximately 100 cars, BMW never released the production numbers of M3 lightweights. M3 lightweights build. However, It's estimated that approximately 125 were built. Next up is the Canadian edition. Prior to the release of the North American specification M3, BMW Canada sold 45 of the European specification M3s. At the time, BMW in North America was opposed to importing the E36 M3 due to its high price and the poor sales of the previous M3s. The Canadian M so the Canadian edition M3 was imported using a loophole that allows low volumes of Norwegian certified cars to be sold in Canada, despite the high price of nearly 60,000 Canadian dollars. All 45 cars were sold in 3 days. 42 of the M3s arrived in Canada via boat in January 1994, with the final 3 cars shipping sometime in the following few months. As with other European specification M3s, these 45 cars had the 286 horsepower version of the S50 engine, oil temperature gauge and so oil temperature gauge and glass headlights, as well as Canadian required equipment such as a third brake light and daytime running lights. Each of the Canadian edition cars has an individually numbered plaque on the inside of the glove box, which reads S50 B30 Limited Production Canadian Edition, as well as a special owner's manual pouch with a similar plaque. With a similar plaque. The cars were numbered at random, with no correlation to VIN numbers, options, or production date. When the North American specification M3 was released in 1995, it was initially not available in Canada. Sales of the North American M3 in Canada began in 1997. 1997. Next up is the M3R in Australia. In order to race in the Australian Super Production Series, 15 M3Rs were sold by BMW Australia. Australia? There we go. In 1994, with a power output of 322 horsepower, the M3R is the most powerful production E36 M3. 4 of the cars were used for the race series, while the remaining 11 were sold to the general public. Buyers were required to possess a CAMS motorsport license in order to purchase an M3R. So it stands for Confederation of Australian Motorsports. It's a Confederation of Australian Motorsport license in order to purchase an M3R. The car was delivered to the workshop of the Frank Gardner racing team for final preparation. A Bolton FIA-approved roll cage was a factory option. Suspension upgrades consisted of new springs. Consisted of new springs. So consisted of new springs, adjustable struts, and rear perches. Engine upgrades consisted of AC Schnitzer camshafts, dual pickup sump, and oil restrictor in the head, and a cold air snorkel into the air filter box, replacing the left hand fog light. Other changes included 4-piston front brake calipers, a shorter 3.25 to 1 ratio 3.25 to 1 differential ratio, the drive shaft from the M5, a twin plate clutch, a non-functional rear seat, no air conditioning, a deeper front splitter, and a larger rear wing. The car was individually numbered with a plaque fitted to the center console near the e-brake. So near the e-brake or handbrake. Next up is the M3 GTR in Germany. The E36 M3 GTR is the road-going version of the competition machine built to compete in the 1993 A.K.A. German GT Cup touring car series. Allgemeiner Deutscher Automobil Club, which stands for General German Automobile Club. I can't really pronounce it well. It's ADAC, German's equivalent of the AA. as a reference from Top Gear. So M3 G, so M3 GTR in Germany. The E36 M3 GTR is the road-going version of the competition machine built to compete in the 1993 ADAC ADAC German GT Cup Touring car series. And next up is production. Production of the E36 M3 began in September 1992 and was discontinued in August 1999. The majority of cars were produced at the BMW Regensburg factory in Germany. However, a small number of low compression right-hand drive cars were assembled at BMW's plants in Roslyn, South Africa. In in total, 46,525 cubes, 12,114 convertibles, and 12,603 sedans were produced. The sedan ceased production in December 1997. The coupe in late sorry, the sedan or saloon ceased production in December 1997. The coupe in late 1998, and the convertible in December 1999. So I'm gonna add those three numbers up actually. So 46,000. 46,525, 12,114, 12,603. So in total, like for all that combined, is a total of 71,242 cars in total were produced. So the sedan ceased production in December 1997, the coupe in late 1998, and the convertible in December 1999. Next up is North American models, and then motorsports, and then we're on to the E46. So let's do it. Despite being released in other countries in 1992, the E36 M3 was not sold in the US until 1995. A key difference between the European specification M3 sold in the rest of the world and the US M3 is the less powerful S50B30 US engine used in the US M3, which was rated at 240 horsepower and 305 newton meters, 225 pound-feet of torque. Other notable differences included an optional 5-speed ZF 5 HP torque converter automatic gearbox, suspension changes, and single-piece brake rotors instead of floating discs. Why do they call it floating discs? I mean, they don't even really float, but I don't know why they call it that. Anyways, so instead of floating discs or floating rotors, the changes were made in order to reduce the price of the M3, as the US dealers believed the European specification M3 would be too expensive to sell well. In November 1996, the engine was upgraded to the 3.2-liter BMW S52 B32 engine with the same power outputs of 240 horsepower, but with torque increased to 320 newton meters, 236 pound-feet. The manual gearbox remained a 5-speed, despite the European versions being upgraded to a 6-speed version. US sales figures include a total of 18,961 coupes, 7,760 sedans, and 6,211 convertibles. So I'm gonna add those three numbers up. So it was 18,961, 7,760, and 6,211. So in total, is 32,932 cars were produced in total. Next up is motorsport. The introduction of the E36 M3 what do I say this word? I didn't even say this word. Hold on.
Coincided.
Coincided. The introduction of the E36 M3 coincided with BMW's withdrawal for the Deutsche Tourenwagen Meisterschaft (DTM), resulting in BMW focusing instead on the 318i and 320i models in the Super Tourenwagen Cup. Nonetheless, the E36 M3 competed in many motorsport events. In 1993, the E36 M3 GTR won the German A.K.A. GT Cup, driven by Johnny Cecotto, who's an Italian-born Venezuelan racer and auto racer. He rose to prominence as a teenage prodigy in 1975 when he became the youngest motorcycle road racing world champion at the age of 19. Despite the auspicious beginning to his motorcycle racing career, he suffered numerous injuries and mechanical problems, which curtailed his success in motorcycle Grand Prix racing. So Johnny Cecotto, the M3 GT competed in the European FIA GT Championship. In the US, the Prototype Technology Group, PTG, so PTG Racing in Virginia, ran the E36 M3 in the IMSA GT Championship. In the 1996 IMSA GT Championship, the M3 won 4 races in the GTS-2 class, and BMW won the manufacturers championship. So that's good. So manufacturers championship. In the 1997 IMSA GT Championship, the M3 won 8 races in the GTS3 class, with BMW winning the manufacturers championship again, and Bill Auberlen, who's an American factory race car driver known for his affiliation with BMW, driving cars made and run by the famous German marquis for a number of years. Auberlen, I can't really say it that well. Auberlen currently competes for Turner Motorsports in the IMSA Sports Car Championship and Michelin Pilot Challenge. Michelin Pilot Challenge. He is the winningest driver in IMSA history. In other words, he like wins a bunch of stuff. Like he just keeps winning, I would say. I don't know. So Bill Auberlen winning the Drivers' Championship in the 1998 IMSA GT Championship. The M3 won 5 races and BMW won the Manufacturers' Championship in the GT3 class. The same year, the M3 won 4 races in the GT2 class. The M3 also competed in the 2000 American Le Mans Series, taking 1 win in the GT class. In Australia, the M3R competed in the Australian GT Production Car Championship. So hold on. So the M3 also competed in the 2000 American Le Mans Series, taking one win in the GT class. In Australia, the M3R competed in the Australian. Hold on, wait. Wait, I'm gonna have to read this part again. So in the U.S., the Prototype Technology Group, PTG Racing in Virginia, ran the E36 M3 in the IMSA GT Championship. In the 1996 IMSA GT Championship, the M3 won 4 races in the GTS2 class, and BMW won the Manufacturers' Championship. In the 1997 IMSA GT Championship, the M3 won 8 races in the GTS-3 or GTS3 class. So GTS3 class, with BMW winning the manufacturers championship again, and Bill Auberlen Bill Oberlin, born October 12th, 1968, in Redondo Beach, California, U.S. That's where I want to move to one day, California. Specifically, L.A. So yeah. Right, in the 1997 IMSA GT Championship, the M3 won 8 races in the GTS 3 class, with BMW winning the Manufacturers' Championship again and Bill Oberlin winning the Drivers' Championship. In the 1998 IMSA GT Championship, the M3 won 5 races and BMW won the Manufacturers' Championship in the GT3 class. The same year, the M3 won 4 races in the GT2 class. The M3 also competed in the 2000 American Le Mans Series, taking 1 win in the GT class. In Australia, the M3R competed in the Australian GT Production Car Championship. And next up is, so pretty much I'll continue on with this. So next up is the 2000 to 2006 E46 M3. So this one's gonna be a good one. So let's see how long this information is about this car. Oh, that's quite long. But let's get this done. All right. So the 2000 to 2006 BMW M3 E46 this time. Here we go. So, overviews first, as usual. So, production is from September 2000 to August 2006. The designer is Ulf Whitehaze. His first name is spelled ULF, and then his last name is spelled WEIDHASE. Next up is body and chassis. The body style is 2 versions you can get is a two-door 2x2 coupe and a 2-door convertible. The layout is front engine rear-wheel drive. As for the previous M3s, the E30 and the E36, the E46 has the same. Powertrain, the engine is now a 3.2 liter S54 B32 inline 6. So that's good. So yeah, engine 3.2 liter S54 B32 inline 6. And then also a 4 liter P60 B40 V8, and that's in the M3 GTR. Someday I might talk about engines. I don't know, but presumably I might. I don't know, but we'll find out. So powertrain engine 3.2 liter S54 B32 inline 6, then a 4 liter P60 B40 V8 in the M3 GTR. Transmission, you can get 2 options, is a 6-speed manual and a 6-speed SMG 2 automated manual. Dimensions is next. The wheelbase is 2,720 millimeters, 107.1 inches. So that's wheelbase. The length is 4,490 millimeters, 176.8 inches. So it's length. The width is 1,780 millimeters, 70.1 inches. The height is 1,370 millimeters, 53.9 inches. Curb weight, meanwhile, it doesn't have the answer to that. So it weighs in at it weighs in at 1,570 kilos, 3,461 pounds. So dimensions. So dimensions: wheelbase 2,720 millimeters, 107.1 inches. Wheelbase length 4,490 millimeters, 176.8 inches. Width 1,780 millimeters, 70.1 inches. Height 1,370 millimeters, 53.9 inches. So curb weight 1,570 kilos, which is 3,461 pounds. So, the M3 version of the E46 3 Series was produced in both coupe and convertible body styles. I never knew if it was a convertible, but I knew it was just a coupe or coupe version. The E46 M3 is powered by the S54 B32 3.2 liter straight six engine, and has a 0 to 100 km an hour, 0 to 60 mile an hour acceleration time of 5.2 seconds for the coupe with either a manual or a SMG-2 automatic transmission. The skid pad cornering results are 0.89, so 0.89 Gs, well, round up 0.9 Gs for the coupe. So for the coupe, and 0.81, round up, is like 0.8 Gs for the convertible. The top speed is electronically limited to 250 kilometers an hour, 155 miles an hour. The curb weight is 1,570 kilos, which is 3,461 pounds. Say 3,461 pounds. The available gearboxes were a Getrag 420G 6-speed manual. So I would go with a manual every time. 6-speed manual gearbox, or an SMG-2. So SMG-2 6-speed automated manual transmission, which is the automatic gearbox. So the available transmissions were a Getrag 420G 6-speed manual, or an SMG-2 6-speed automated manual, which is just automatic, which was based on the Getrag 420G. The SMG-2 used an electrohydraulically actuated clutch, and gear shifts could be selected via the shift lever or paddles. Say paddles mounted on the steering wheel. So I would really get E46 M3 with that, but instead of using the paddles, I would just use the shifter like a proper manual person would. So like a proper driver would for manuals. The SMG-2 used an electrohydraulically actuated clutch, and gear shifts could be selected via the shift lever or paddles mounted on the steering wheel. The SMG-2 was praised for its fast shifting times and racetrack performance, but some people found its shifts to be delayed and lurching in stop-start traffic. Total production of the E46 M3 was 56,133 cubes and 29,633 convertibles. So if I add those numbers up, all right, so 56,133 plus 29,633. So in total, it's 85,766 cars in total. So the total production of the E46 M3 was 56,133 coupes and 29,633 convertibles. The car was assembled at the BMW Regensburg factory in Germany, and production was from September 2000 until August 2006 for a total of 85,766 cars. An M3 An M3 touring station wagon or estate prototype was built to evaluate the feasibility of building an M3 model on the existing platform of the E46 station wagon, especially the integration of the M3's wider rear wheel arches onto the wagon body. The prototype did not reach production. Next up is the engine. The 3.2-liter, 200 cubic inch S54 engine is the final evolution of the BMW S50 naturally aspirated straight-six engines. The S54 is rated at 338 horsepower at 7,900 RPM and 365 newton meters, 269 pound-feet of torque at 4,900 RPM and has a red line of 8,000 RPM. So it's 1,000 less than a 9. It's 1,000 less than a modern 911 GT3 and GT3 RS. So yeah, a red line of 8,000 RPM. As with most M engines, the S54 has individual throttle bodies for each cylinder with electronic throttle control, drive-by-wire operation of the throttles being a new feature for the S54. Now I got development and launch. Concept design of the M3 began in 1997. The head of exterior design was Ulf Whitehays, and the head of interior design was Martina Bachmann, which is spelled Bachmann. The M3 was previewed at the 1999 International Motor Show, Germany, as a concept. So the M3 was previewed at the 1999 International Motor Show, Germany, as a concept, resembling the final production version very closely. The final production version was first introduced in March 2000 at the Geneva Motor Show. In Geneva, Switzerland. Well, say Switzerland. So the M3 was previewed at the 1999 International Motor Show, Germany, as a concept resembling the final production very. Hold on. So development and launch. Concept design of the M3 began in 1997. The head of exterior design was Ulf Whitehays, and the head of interior design was Martina Bachmann, which is spelled Bachmann. The M3 was previewed at the 1999 International Motor Show, Germany, as a concept, resembling the final production version very closely. The final production version was first introduced in March 2000 at the Geneva Motor Show with the new 3.2-liter S54 M-tuned straight-six or inline-six engine. Now we got special editions. We've got the CSL version of the car, which I quite like. This one is actually pretty cool. I'm always a huge fan of these M3 CSLs, specifically this one, the E46. Menacing. Absolutely menacing this is. It says special editions. Starting off with the CSL. Here we go. So, the BMW M3. So, the BMW M3 CSL Coupe Sport Leichtbau. I can't really pronounce that. It's spelled Leich. So Leichtbaw. So I'm gonna have to translate this.
Leichtbau.
Leichtbau. Leichtbau. Can't really pronounce that well. Leichtbau, I think, meaning coupe or coupe sport lightweight, is a limited edition. So limited edition version of the M3 that was produced in 2004 with production totaling to 1,383 cars. It was available in two colors: silver gray metallic and black sapphire metallic. As its name suggests, an emphasis was put on reducing weight. Say, an emphasis was put on reducing weight. The CSL has a curb weight of 1,385 kilos, which is 3,053 pounds. 110 kilos, 243 pounds lighter than the regular M3. Structural weight reduction measures include the use of glass reinforced plastics in various structural point in various so include the use of glass reinforced plastics in use so structural weight re, so structural weight reduction measures include the use of glass reinforced plastics in various structural points in the car. A roof constructed from carbon fiber reinforced plastic, reducing curb weight by 7 kilos, 15 pounds, and more importantly, lowering the center of gravity. Body panels constructed from carbon fiber and thinner glass for the rear window. The trunk or the boot floor cover was made of lightweight fiberboard, which is a type of engineered wood product that is made out of wood fibers. So wood fibers, type of fibers in order of increasing density include particle board of low density fiberboard, LDF, then MDF and HDF. So medium density fiberboard and hardboard or high density fiberboard. It's sometimes used as a synonym for a particle board, but particle board usually refers to low density fiberboard. Plywood is not a type of fiberboard, and it's made of thin sheets of wood, not wood fibers or particles. Fiberboard, particularly medium density fiberboard, is heavily used in the furniture industry for pieces that will be visible. A veneer of wood is often glued onto fiberboard to give it the appearance of conventional wood. In the packaging industry, the term fiberboard is often used to describe a tough craft-based paperboard or corrugated fiberboard for boxes. Fiberboard is also an intermediate product and output of a pulp mill used as input for a paper mill. So, the trunk or the boot floor cover was made of lightweight fiberboard, not cardboard as infamously described on the Top Gear TV show. The CSL discarded a large proportion of the M3's sound insulation, sound insulation, electric seats, sat nav, air conditioning, and stereo. The latter two were able to re-add as no-cost options, so it's for free basically. The interior includes fiberglass front racing bucket seats. So you have fiberglass front racing bucket seats, a fiberglass backing for the rear seats, a carbon fiber for the center console, door panels, door panels, door trim, and headliner. It's a headliner. The steering wheel has just a single button which activates the M track mode, instead of the buttons for cruise control, stereo, and phone controls on the regular M3. The CSL retained the 50-50 weight distribution of the regular M3. The wheels were increased in size to 19 inches. BMW took the unusual approach of supplying the CSL with semi-slick Michelin port, with Michelin Pilot Sport Cup semi-slick tires. These tires provided high grip levels. So that's right, high grip levels once warmed up on a racetrack, but poor performance on wet roads and when below their operating temperature. A warning label was included in the CSL to inform drivers about driving in either cold or wet conditions. The brakes were up. The brakes were upgraded with larger floating discs at or rotors at the front and larger pistons at the rear. The suspension system was revised with stiffer springs, upgraded shock absorbers, and a quicker ratio for the steering rack, 14.5 to 1 versus 15.4 to 1 on the regular M3. The electronic stability control, or the ESC, was retuned and the M track mode was added, allowing high thresholds before the system how do you say this word?
Intervened.
So before the system intervened, the engine used in the CSL had increased outputs over the regular S54 by 17 horsepower and 5 newton meters, 4 pound-feet over the European M3. This is due to the use of sharper profile camshafts, a bigger air intake with carbon fiber manifold, with a carbon fiber intake manifold, a refinement of the exhaust manifold, and slightly different exhaust valves. The top speed was electronically limited as standard, but buyers with a current motorsport license could order the CSL with the speed limiter removed. The sole gearbox available was the 6-speed SMG2 automated manual transmission with revised software. With revised software resulting in shifting times of 80 milliseconds. The aerodynamics were also revised, including a carbon fiber front splitter that improved downforce at high speeds by 50%, and a carbon fiber rear diffuser. The front bumper had a distinct hole that is used to draw cool air into the newly designed air intake. The trunk lid or boot lid was redesigned to incorporate a raised lip, unlike the regular M3 where one is simply added onto a flat boot or the flat trunk. Next up is the prototype CSL. In 2022, BMW M revealed a special V8 prototype engine. The full model code was the S62B40. Kind of almost the same engine that was used in the M5 E39, I think. Yeah, the S62. So the S62 B40 for the M3 CSL, which was previously fitted to the E39 M5 and the E52 Z8. Oh yeah, I know that car. So yeah, that was the James Bond vehicle, I think. So yeah, there's like also the Alpina version, which was terrible. We had a smaller engine and less power. It didn't even improve that well for the car, for the Alpina version. Literally, they gave it a smaller engine, less power, a slower 0 to 60 presumably. It just literally ruined it. So what's the advantage for the Alpina version then. It literally just, it would not really perform that well or handle well. Literally, it would not do either of those. Like, what's the difference there if the Alpina version is slower than the original Z8 BMW? I genuinely don't understand. Anyways, so I'm still on the prototype CSL. In 2022, BMW M revealed a special V8 prototype engine, full model code the S62B40 for the M3 CSL, which was previously fitted to the E39 M5 and the E52 Z8. The S62 was BMW's first V8 engine to have double Vanos, which I'll also talk about in my next video. So this is like a variable valve timing system for BMW. So the S62 was BMW's first V8 engine to have double Vanos, variable valve timing on the intake and exhaust camshafts. However, this prototype S62 engine produces 424 horsepower at 6,000. So, however, this prototype S62 engine produces 424 horsepower at 6,600 RPM and 500 newton meters, 369 pound-feet of torque at 3,800 RPM. The same horsepower configuration as a Mark V A90 Supra with the straight six engine. However, this prototype S62 engine produces 424 horsepower at 6,600 RPM and 500 newton meters, 369 pound-feet at 3,800 RPM. The last difference results in a displacement of 4 liters compared with the 5 liters of the S62 engine found in the M5 and C8 cars. Next up is the competition CS package. In 2005, a special edition was introduced which used several parts from the CSL. This model was called the M3 Competition ZCP package in the US and mainland Europe, and the M3 CS in the UK. Compared to the regular M3, the competition package includes 19-inch BBS alloy wheels, 19 by 8 inches at the front and 19 by 8 inches at the front and 19 by 9.5 inches at the rear. Stiffer springs which were carried over to the regular M3 from I think it was December 2004, or was it like 12th of April? I can't really remember. Aside from that, it's also got faster ratio steering rack. So faster ratio steering rack of 14.5 to 1 compared with the regular M3's ratio of 15.4 to 1 as with the CSL. Steering wheel from the CSL, M-Track mode for the electronic stability control as with the CSL. The CSL's larger front brakes, but with the regular M3 front calipers, and rear brake calipers with larger pistons. With larger pistons and Alcantara steering wheel and e-brake cover. So e-brake cover or handbrake cover. The engine, gearbox, and other drivetrain components are the same as the standard M3. Now we got the GTR Strassen version, which is the road car. Then we got so we got the GTR Strassen version, which is a road car. North American models we got, and then Motorsport, and then now BM. So starting off was the GTR Strassen version, which is the road car. In order to homologate The M3 GTR for racing, a road version, was developed during calendar year 2001. That was the year the first Fast and Furious movie was being released. And the new movie is actually going back to its roots with as like it did for the first one. So yeah, GTR Strassen version road car. So GTR Strassen version road car. In order to homologate the M3 GTR for racing, a road version was developed during calendar year 2001 and shown for the first time at the season-ending ALMS Petit Le Mans race. BMW produced 10 development units, of which 3 were production-ready display cars. 7 of them were not. For homologation purposes, the M3 GTR needed to be offered for sale to the general public, and by Petit Le Mans 2001, the car was ready. So the car was ready. So here we go. The car was ready. So it was ready. The M3 GTR was to be priced at 250,000 euros. When ALMS changed the homologation rules at the end of the 2001 season, the road version prototype was stopped. all seven development prototypes were recycled. It's a bit harsh. But the 3 production ready display cars exist to this day and all still owned by BMW AG. One of the road M3 GTRs was displayed by BMW of North America LLC at Legends of the Autobahn in 2015 along with the newly restored ALMS race version of the car. The road cars were built alongside bodies in white of the GTR race cars in the special vehicles department of BMW's Regensburg plant. As with the race car, the GTR road car was powered by the 4-liter P60 B40 V8 engine. The engine retained the race car's dry sump oil system and was slightly detuned from 444 to 382 horsepower at 7,000 RPM. Top speed was 295 kilometers an hour, 183 miles an hour. See, it's not just a Z8, but this M3 is doing it as well. What is going on? Say, top speed was 295 kilometers an hour, 183 miles an hour. At least they did not reduce the top speed, thank God for that. The gearbox was a 6-speed manual, and the differential was the same variable locking units as used in the race car. The dry weight was 1,350 kilos, which is 2,980 pounds. Weight reduction measures included a carbon fiber front bumper, rear bumper, and carbon fiber front bumper, rear bumper, and rear wing. There we go. The M3 GTR gained a cult following in the gaming community. After it appeared in the 2005 game. So in the 2005 video game Need for Speed Most Wanted. Road and Track, who collaborated on the first Need for Speed video game, described the game's custom M3 GTR as being so iconic that fans still recreate the livery in real life. Which they do. Once searched about the M3 GTR, nearly 85%, that's right, 85% of the results will relate the car to Need for Speed Most Wanted. Next up is North American models. The North American models used the same S54 engine as in other countries. Unlike the previous generations, which used lower performance engines in the US, due to minor differences in specification, The US models were rated at 333 horsepower and 355 newton meters, 262 pound-feet of torque, resulting in an official 0 to 100 kilometer an hour, 0 to 60 mile an hour acceleration time of 4.8 seconds for the coupe version with either the manual or the SMG gearbox. As in other countries, top speed was electronically limited to 250 kilometers an hour, 155 miles an hour. The CSL model, so the CSL model was not sold in the North American market. And last up is motorsport. So here we go. All right. Sorry. In the US, the E46 M3 competed in the 2000 American Le Mans Series GT category and finished third in the championship. Finished third in the championship. The straight six engine was viewed as uncompetitive compared to the Porsche 996 GT3 from 1999 to 2005. So compared to the Porsche 911 GT3 996, which is also a fantastic track car, the 996. Brilliant. Therefore, BMW began to develop a new M3 race car based around a more powerful engine. The resulting E46 GTR race car. The resulting E46 GTR race car was introduced in February 2001 and was powered by a 443 horsepower version of the 4-liter P60B40 naturally aspirated dual overhead cam V8 DOHC engine. With a more powerful engine than the straight six powered M3 versions, which were outpaced by the competition, the GTR won the 2001 American Le Mans Series GT category. Driven by Jörg Müller. I can't really pronounce it, but it's spelled JORG, which has the two dots on the above the O, and then MULLER. So MULLER with the two dots on the top. So I can't really pronounce that, but he's a Dutch racing driver. Driven by Jörg Müller. I still can't pronounce it. The eligibility of the GTR was the subject of controversy, with some rival teams believing that the GTR was an in-house prototype vehicle rather than a production model, available for purchase by the general public. The ALMS homologation rules for 2001 required the M3 GTR road car to be sold on at least two continents, with 12 months, within 12 months, a year of the rules being issued, which BMW claimed to fulfill by stating that 10 GTR road cars were available for sale. The ALMS rules were altered for 2002, now requiring that 100 cars and 1,000 engines must be built for a car to qualify. Without any penalties. The GTR road car was never intended for production on this scale, So BMW withdrew the GTR from competition at this point. Last part, and then I'll end it there. In 2000, so in 2003, the M3, the M3 GTR returned to competition at the 2004, not 2004, at the 2000, at the 24 hours. So in 2003, the M3 GTR returned to competition at the 24 hours of Nürburgring, with two cars run by Schnitzer Motorsports. The GTR won the 24 hours Nürburgring in 2004 and 2005, and competed in the 24 hours of Spa. That's right, 24 hours of Spa. So the GTR won the 24 hours of Nürburgring in 2004 and 2005, and competed in the 24 hours of Spa. Finally, and that is it. I still got 3 more versions, and then production volumes, and then that will finally be it. So for my next M3 video will be about the E90, E92, and E93 generations of the car. The ones with the V8 engine into it. With the S65 naturally aspirated 4-liter V8s from 2007 to 2013. So stay tuned for that video coming up very soon. Anyways, guys, so that is going to wrap it up for today. If you guys liked this video, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you are alerted of when I make new uploads. So yeah, don't do that. Whatever you do not click your fingers, because as I mentioned before, if you grow older, your muscles will start to hurt. For your knuckles, your muscles for your fingers will start to hurt real bad. Anyways, guys, so that's gonna wrap it up for today. If you guys like this video, like it, subscribe. Comment down below what you guys think, hit that notification bell, and hit all so you are alerted of when I make new uploads. All right, and that'll be it. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. But until then, stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So take care, folks. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.